Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Xbox One Round 5 Tier 1 at Zhuhai. We're playing Project Cars 2 tonight, as I said, returning for Round 5. I'm your host tonight, my name is S13 and I will guide you through the race and through tonight's intro scenes. So let's first have a look at the calendar to see where we stand in the actual championship. As I said, tonight it's round 5 at Zhuhai in China. In-game date is the 9th of July actually, and we're racing in the early morning, or the morning, so better to say. It's not early morning anymore. Sorry. Yeah, and drivers have just completed the practice session, and we will shortly switch over to the qualifying session to see what is going on. I will firstly guide you through the championship standings, as we do have, as I said, round 5, which is basically, as you can see, out of 10 rounds, it's the halfway point. It's the halfway point of the season, and yeah, we will quickly switch over to the championship standings for you. So there you are. It's basically a very dominant performance so far from THR Mu, Team Highlands Racing, the only driver this season in the Ginetta, who won all the 4 races from the opening 4 rounds. And yeah, it's been very impressive and very dominant so far. He basically was out of reach for anybody, and the big question today will be, can anybody actually beat Mu in his mighty Ginetta? We had a reverse championship starting grid from last week in Le Mans on the 24-hour layout, and despite the lack of speed, the lack of top speed, Mu managed to win the race with a very good strategy. Dragged himself through the field in the opening rounds and stayed patient, made no mistakes, and yeah, basically he won the 4th race out of 4 races. In second place we do have our Italian stallion, as he's called in the chat from time to time. It's Wheezy in the mighty SLS. We will shortly switch over to the live screen, and I will guide you through the cars again, so stay tuned for this one. He's in second with 4 podiums in all 4 races, which is pretty impressive as well. Very consistent, so to say. Just 1 point behind is I'm an Eagle in the Black Falcon SLS. Oh no, it's not an SLS, it's the Black Falcon AMG, sorry for that. But unfortunately I have to say that he will miss tonight's race as of personal issues, and he will be back for next week, he promised, so yeah. So we will miss Eagle this week. In a very good and impressive 4th place with the DNF in the first round at Imola is Gnarly, who actually got had a good race last week in Le Mans as well. And I'm curious to see if he's able to pick up the slack from his teammate Eagle, and finish on the score his first podium this season. So in 5th place as well, a very good position for him is Coppernuts in the Ferrari. Finished with a very impressive and very good P4 in Le Mans last week, so he was very happy with it, as well as we saw him weaving and blinking all over the line, flashing all over the line when he crossed the finish line. Made no mistake, basically profitized from others' mistakes, so very, very good performance from him. In 6th place is TM Chaos Theory from the Not Fast Just Furious team. DRP in the first 2 rounds, that means he switched the car for round 3, and therefore the rules on AOR say that he has to lose, or he loses all the points from the previous round. So he finished the podium and got 5th last week in Le Mans. So yeah, plenty more to come from him. I'm eager to see how the Cadillac performs on this very bumpy and brake intensive track tonight. So yeah, let's see what he's able to do. P7, Mr. Rougham up with the 5th position in Catalonia as his best season result. Plenty more to come from him, as well as LGS and King Chip. They're battling in the midfield basically, but as you may know, project cars, if you have the right setup, if you have a little bit of race luck, everybody can jump, again have a shot at the podium. So let's see. Detox is teammate from TM Chaos Theory. Last week he was out of racing because he had some back pain and wasn't able to race, and I'm happy to announce that he's back tonight. And in P11 it's Reim vom Schleim, who takes a break as well this season. So we do have 9 drivers to commentate on this season, and or this race, sorry. This race. And switching over to the live screen, nearly 11 minutes remaining in qualifying session. You see the weather conditions are a little bit tricky, at least for me. We do have some fog out there in China this day. You can probably tell it's smog. No, it's not smog, it's fog. So yeah, we will have to see. Probably, yeah, we will use a little bit more onboard cameras this week if the visibility is too bad, but I think at the moment, yeah, seeing this shot, it's not fine, but if the cars can come closer, it should be fine to commentate and to see for you. But I will help you and guide you through all the drivers and cars. Currently we're watching Chaos Theory, sitting in P6. Had a very scruffy lap as I saw. So probably no possibility to improve his time, but yeah, as I said, he crosses the line and stays on a 33.5. In pole position, no surprise, is Mu with a 31.3, which is I guess a pretty good lap. I think there are high 30s are possible, and as I say, he's improving to a 31.0, 31 flat basically. Jumping back to the pits with 9 minutes remaining. In P2, actually only 3.5 tenths behind is the Wheezy Championships second. So the first 2 championship contenders are battling it out again here in Zhuhai tonight. 3rd place is Nolly, which is pretty good by now, as he used to struggle in qualifying the last rounds. P3 is probably a really good position for him to be in by now. Another 6 tenths behind Gnarly is King Chip. P4 so far, very good. LGS in P5, it's Chaos as we are watching Chaos. Still watching Chaos, to be honest. He is 6. Yeah, let's have a look at his teammate. It's Detox. Just going into the first corner. Is in 7th, just behind Chaos, not too far off. Mr. Rougham up, just leaving the pit lane for his next attempt on a good starting position. He's currently 3 seconds behind, and I guess there is a lot of improvement in his lap, and I think he will improve. no question. So let's have a look at him. In last place currently, Nuts, and I think he's waiting to get some space, as it looks like, getting out of the way from everybody. There's Wheezy coming through in the SLS, and yeah, as he comes up to the last corner, yeah, let's see if he is. Let's see if he's going for a fast lap. Oh, there's LGS going off in the last corner, which is a very tricky corner, and we will shortly have a closer look at the racetrack. Actually, coming into the first corner, braking at the 100-meter mark. It's a second gear corner, very bumpy at the exit. Very, you have to be very patient on throttle. Let's have a quick switch. So there is the turn 4. It is already, I guess, where you can easily ran wide and invalidate your lap. So it's you have to stay very, very patient on throttle again. This kink is full throttle kink, and here you brake at the end of the gravel down into the first gear, actually, most likely in most likely every car. Hard on the power, accelerating up to the next double left, braking at the just after the beginning of the curb on the right side. Probably you can take the curb on the inside. Next one is nearly flat. Probably it is flat in qualifying if you have the right setup. So, but it's very tricky to take it flat. Next corner you see on the left side there are always the braking signs on the fence, so you can't crush them in this race. It's another 100-meter board braking point for you to slow the car down again in first gear or second gear, depending on the car you drive. And coming up to the last corner, you have to take a lot of the inside curb, take a lot of speed through the corner to get a good exit out on the straight. I actually don't know why the pit marker is on the start finish straight, but that was a lap of Zhuhai. I will see if I can find probably Moo on a fast lap as well. So yeah, it looks like Moo is coming around the first corner as well. Oh no, it's not the first corner, it was the penultimate corner. I will show you the track map actually. So Moo is coming up to turn 14, which I said is very, very easy to run wide, very easy to spin off as well. So we take the chase cam for him, for his lap, and follow him through on it. So yeah, seeing it's turn 1 and turn 2 coming up. You have to take a very tight inside line, patient on the throttle. The right kink, turn 3, is no doubt completely flat out. Braking at the beginning of the curb on the right side, taking a lot of inside curb, not run wide. That is probably an invalidation of the lap, and yeah, looks like he's already slowing down too. As he got a slowdown penalty for this one. So yeah, then the right hairpin, first gear on most likely every car. I will see if you can see the gearing, and can probably as well bring up the track map to see where everybody is. So there's one guy in the pit, that's Detox in the pit. Wheezy invalidate. Oh no, he didn't invalidate his lap. He had an exclamation mark there, but it's gone again. So yes, probably we can stay on board with him for the tight right hairpin again. Oh, it's actually first gear in the SLS. You have to avoid the first gear in the AMG as good as you can, but yeah, this was turn 11, turn 12 for you. Small kink, turn 13, and now coming up to turn 14 as well. You missed the apex slightly, but carried, I think, a lot of good speed through it. And if the speedometer on the right is correct, he has plenty of fuel for another lap at least. So second gear for the first corner. Ran very, very wide there, which was probably not the best line to take there. Again, the full throttle kink through the right, and yeah, let's see. It's 3 minutes remaining. Let's see if he can improve. Oh, that's a big catch, and that's his lap gone, I guess. There was a lot of oversteer, yeah, and 5, tenths of a second down on his best already. So Chaos, we do have Gnarly still in P3. We will have a look at him. I will put off the track map again as it's only in the way. So that was a very good last corner with taking very much of the inside curb, and let's see if he can improve on his time. Oh yes, he can improve just slightly by I think 400ths of a second. But yeah, he proves that he is able to challenge the top runners. Next up in P4 is Chaos. He just started his lap coming up to turn 4. But this doesn't look like a really fast lap. He's already 1 second down. P5 is Kingship. Still a very good position compared to the positions he was in before. So it's a very, very good position for him. And let's see if he is able to improve. So going back, I just had to read over the Discord instructions from my stream colleagues, so I was off for a second, sorry for that one. Let's have a look at Detox, who's very close behind Kingship and LGS time-wise, but this lap is... Oh, he lost it, and he just immediately went back to pits. It's again Mr. Rotham up and Coppernuts in P8 and P9, so... let's see who's coming up to the... No, that's... Wheezy is coming up to the start-finish line. Let's see if he's... Oh no, that's again a miss for him, and that's a crash, and that's back to the pits, I guess. So it's... The only driver left on track is Mr. Rotham. So let's have a look at him and see how he's doing, if he can improve. Oh, just open up the chat, guys. And I see there are a lot of guys in the chat. So welcome to the stream, welcome to AOR's Project Cars 2 GT3 2013 Round 5 Xbox One Elite tier. So that's a very hard name to pronounce as a commentator, but yeah. I'm happy to have you here. So if you have any questions, if you want anything, if you want me to switch anything in the stream, put anything up in the screen, just let me know. I will try to read the chat as good as I can. As Mr. Rotham actually completed his lap and improved to 2.7 seconds behind our pole sitter THR Moo. Again, pole sitter THR Moo from New Zealand, so yeah, that's far away and far too quick for everybody. So actually give him some shout outs in the chat, as it's very early in the morning in New Zealand and he has to wake up very early. He drives these races just before he goes to work. So yeah, hands up for Moo. Pole position, next pole position this season. Second in championships, second in qualifying. Just 3.5 seconds behind is Wheezy. Gnarly with a very good qualifying in P3. TMK Theory with a pretty good lap, I guess, with 1.4 seconds. Off pole position in P4. Kingship with, I guess, his best qualifying this season in P5. LGS in P6. Detox recovering, returning from his back injury in P7. Mr. Rotham teammate from Kingship in P8. And rounding up the grid is Coppernuts and his Ferrari. But as we know from last week, he is very consistent, and I guess he will be able to come back to the come back in the race and catch one or another driver who makes mistakes. We will have a closer look at the track again, because there are some really weird things to take to happen on the track. So this is a very interesting camera shot, as we see anything than fog and 4 lights. So if you're new to AOR, there is something very important for you to know. So when the lights go green, we don't we don't start the race. Actually, the race is not green. On AOR, we will do a manual formation, manual rolling formation, or manual formation lap with a manual rolling start. That's correct now. So the all the drivers, when the lights go green, will go around in single file for 1 lap with 120 kph. I think is the speed to close up, to close on. So and when the formation lap is finished, we will have a short formation point, just before the last corner, I think. And then Moo as the pole sitter, as you see the lights go green and everybody's really calmly starting up his car. Yeah, moving on. So I will go back to trackside and see if we can see anything. Yeah, the drivers are heating up their tires because it's early in the morning, or it's in morning time in game, so it will be very cold. It's foggy, so yeah, track temperature is very cold. I actually missed to have a look at it, so let's see if I can see it anywhere. No, it doesn't look like so. Yeah, track temperature is very, very cold, that's for sure. So everybody's weaving and putting up the tires to good heat. That's the normal procedure during the formation lap, as most likely we have everybody on hard tires for this race. We will have a look real quick if anybody is not weaving, because the one not weaving is the one on soft tires. It's actually Detox who isn't weaving at all. He's very calmly going through the formation lap. So let's keep an eye on him on the opening laps, because if he is on soft tires, he will be on superior pace the opening laps, as everybody's struggling with cold tires. So yeah, let's see. It's everybody weaving. It's Moo weaving. It's Wheezy, Gnarly, Chaos, Kingchip, LGS. It's everybody weaving despite Detox. So let's have a look how he is doing in the opening laps. But we will now switch over to the leading pack, as they're close to the formation point. Yeah, there we go. They're forming up 2 by 2, as you may know. And on the start-finish line, Moo takes the inside line for turn 1. This is actually not an this is actually a rule on AOR, so he has to take the inside line. And yeah, let's see when he is going. So that's really hard to see, but I think we're green and we're on the way for 38 racing laps this round. So yeah, Moo already pulled in front of Wheezy, took the optimal line. Wheezy getting challenged from Gnarly, Chaos behind as well on the outside from Gnarly. Kingship tries to take advantage, and let's have a look at the battle and try to take advantage. Tries to outbrake. Oh yeah, he's late on the brakes. Oh, he's probably too late and hits Gnarly and puts Gnarly off. So, but Gnarly stays on track. Oh no, there's trouble, there's trouble. Oh no, Chaos spun off from Kingship and hit Gnarly. So 2 of the front runners already with really big problems. I think Gnarly got some damage from this one, and Chaos surely got damage. Oh, that's a shame for him. Already getting from bad to worse again. So P4 not optimal on the grid, but he tried to oh, there's another crash. It's Gnarly and yeah, it was Gnarly and Detox, I think, who crashed again. Detox was already up to P5, and then he missed the. There was something happening between the Gnarly and Detox, and both of the Cadillacs with real trouble in the opening lap. That's a real shame. So, yeah, Chaos Theory had a real bad first lap last week, but he's not going to the pits. So he's staying out, so damage shouldn't be too bad. Gnarly is in the pits, so Gnarly will try to fix his damage, and probably, yeah, Detox is coming to the pits as well. Yeah, so not a good lap for Gnarly and both of the Cadillacs on the opening lap. That's a real shame, but we will try to keep an eye on them and see how they're doing. Meanwhile, at the front, Wheezy right at the back of Moo. I'm trying to switch over to the onboard cameras to see how far he's really behind. You can see the fog on the for the actual drivers is not that bad. There's no Wheezy brakes a little late, just misses Moo at the front. As you see, the fog is not too bad. The visibility for the drivers is okay, I guess. Sorry. The visibility is okay, I guess. But when you go to the trackside cameras, it's sometimes really hard to see, depending on the shot the game gives you. But it's basically only for us difficult to see. Drivers are fine with the visibility on this track in this lap. So following up, Wheezy, he's 0.8 seconds behind. Probably a lot of you sim racing interested guys or racing interested guys were playing F1 2019 in the F1 game from Codemasters last week and this week. So just to let you know, there is no DRS in GT3 cars. Even as Wheezy is within the 1 second gap, but as I said, no DRS on GT3 cars. It's just pure slipstream and pure driving skill. So both drivers ran very wide at the at turn. Oh, I can't remember the turns. I think it's 9 or something like that. It doesn't matter. At the hairpin coming up to the back straight. So Wheezy got a slow down. Yeah, these slowdowns we have to really watch. The next few laps. Let's have a look if anybody just has one. Oh yeah, it's Gnarly with a penalty. That's probably because of speeding in a pit lane or something like that, because you don't get a 10-second penalty for an off track. Yeah, should be for a penalty. And Wheezy again is pushing really hard and tries to follow Moo, and he's running out of space all over the racetrack, and he's now already 2 seconds down on the leader. So let's see if he can recover, if he can settle himself down and calm himself down, and we will have a quick look through the field meanwhile, while this battle at the front is getting a little bit calmer now. So yeah, let's have a look. In P3 it's actually LGS switching back to the trackside cameras to see if he has any damage, but it doesn't look like he has damage. He's already 10 seconds down on the leader, but yeah, it's a very good third place, I think. I don't think he was that far in front during this season, while we're watching him getting a little lockup into the hairpin. Into the hairpin again, so let's see what this hairpin is. It's actually turn 7, okay. Hopefully I can remember it throughout the race. It's turn 7 we're looking at. So Gnarly in P3, he's already 5 seconds clear from Coppernuts, who comes from P9 on the grid, and as I said, he's very consistent, he's very patient, and he will pick up some places. So he's in P4 already again, where he was last week in Le Mans as well. Yeah, he finished in P4. Let's see if he can finish this time in P4 as well. Close behind, following is Mr. Rothamap, who does a really good job in the opening laps as well, being in P5. And that's very close to the bumper of Copanats, and yeah, and actually right behind these two, not far off, is Chaos Theory. And let's have a look at the trackside camera to see. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of damage to the hood of his car. But I guess as long as there's no suspension damage, when normally there isn't any suspension damage when you have a very central damage model. Yeah, I hope you know, or you can understand what I mean. When the visible damage is very central, there's most likely no suspension damage. Only probably about 5 points, 5 index points to the aero damage to the front, which will give him surely some understeer, but which is not undrivable at all. But yeah, let's see how he's doing and if he can catch up to the two guys battling in front. Then it's Kingchip, who had the coming together with Gnarly and Chaos in the opening lap, following in P7 at the moment, with about 8 seconds to Chaos Theory. Gnarly with a fixed car again, being in P8, with actually not that bad, actually fourth best lap time with a 4:34.1. So let's see if he can catch up. It's still a long race to go. It's still 33 laps for you guys to see. So let's see what he can do. And in P9 it's Detox. Yeah, his car should be fixed, but the visual damage is still visible. So, but I'm sure he fixed his car in the pits with a pretty good lap time, at least with the lap time, which tells me there's no damage left, with 35.1. Leader's doing 32.9, nearly similar lap times from Moo and Wheezy, but for some reason the laps before Wheezy wasn't this consistent, and he's already 3.5 seconds behind. So let's watch the battle for P4 actually. Let's switch to Mr. Rafamap because he's in the middle of him. Yeah, there's you were able to see the Ferrari from Copanats. Then there is the Lamborghini, the Dime Racing Lamborghini from Mr. Rafamap, and just behind the bright yellow. Oh, Copanats is gone off. Copanats is gone off, and he lost 2 positions to Mr. Rafamap and Chaos Theory. Yeah, sorry for that one. That's probably again the commentator's curse when you're praising a driver for great consistency. It's most likely the case he makes a mistake, so sorry for that, Copper. And have a good race, and I think you're going to have a good race through the remaining 32 laps. So LGS is making a pit stop. Oh no, that's from the race. I just had a glimpse on the race feed and saw LGS making a pit stop, but no, he actually didn't make a pit stop. The pit stop message was from the qualifying session. So let's watch again the closest battle we have on track. It's again the Dime Lamborghini from Mr. Rafamap in his best position so far in P4, and right behind him is the yellow Cadillac with the red mirrors. I guess Detox, yeah, Detox has white mirrors, so Chaos is the one with the red mirrors. Let's see if he's able to Oh, he lost it. He made a mistake again. What is going on, guys? Come on. What is going on? Copanats back in P5 then? As Chaos made a very rare mistake. Oh, now Moose in the pits already. That's an interesting tactic, but this surely was only a pit stop for fuel, or not even for fuel. It's you don't. We do have a yeah. That's probably something I shall mention in the stream. On AOR, on these GT3 leagues, there is a mandatory pit stop, so you have to pit once in a lap, once in the race, not once in a lap, sorry for that, once in the race. And you don't have to change tires, you don't have to refuel, um, you don't have to repair your damage, no matter if it's engine damage or aero damage, but you have to go to the pits once. What you do in the pits is totally up to you. So, as I said, you're able to switch the tires, which is sometimes the case when you have changing weather conditions. You can refuel, that's most likely necessary in the endurance races, which is round 4 and round 8, I guess. And you have to fix your damage, as you saw in the when you have a crash in the opening laps. But yeah, lap 9 is a pretty early pit stop for Mu, but the pit stop was too early to see him changing tires. That's probably not the case. So I was wondering if he probably started on hard tires and couldn't get the tires to temperature and switched onto the softs. But yeah, as I said, the pit stop was too short to change his tires. But let's see what his lap times are. Wheezy still at the front with very consistent high 32s. Nobody even close to this lap time. The closest one is Gnarly actually with 33.5, just behind. Chaos Theory obviously made another mistake. And lost another place to King Chip again. I think it's King Chip. We lost the place to. And Coppernuts up in P5, so the battle for P2. Let's see if that's a crucial point in the race actually, guys. So you see Mu closing up to LGS, who was not in the pits yet, and for Mu it's really important to get by him very soon, so that he don't lose any time. And there is LGS making a mistake, and Mu going for the gap, and clean as you like, going past LGS. LGS didn't made it too hard for him, so yeah, let's see if Mu is able to close up to Wheezy before Wheezy makes his pit stop. Wheezy crossing the line with a very bad lap. It's a 34.2 actually, with a mistake this time. So let's see what the lap time from Mu is. It's a 36.1. That's not. That's actually 2 seconds slower. Okay, let's watch this battle again, and I'm back in a second, guys. So give me a short break. As I said, I'm back in a second. I will leave you with the pictures and be back very short. So right, back in the commentary box for you again. So honestly, guys, if I would have been racing, I would have had a real serious problem now. But comparing the lap times from last lap, it was, oh no, Mu's lap time actually actualized really late. It was 32.8 before, and now a 32.6, which is over 1 second faster than Wheezy's last lap time. And Wheezy already with a time penalty from 1 second, as well as Mr. Rufflemap. These time penalties are surely for some off tracks and not slowing down in time. So this corner there, turn 4 I guess it is the most dangerous corner for corner cutting. So we will have a look at them as well. So let's see if we can find any more battles throughout the race. As we're still watching Moo. Yeah, but I think there are no real battles by now. I think it's Gnarly and Detox who were in the pits already. Chaos Theory was not in. It's only Moo, Gnarly, and Detox who made their mandatory pit stops. Everybody else is still due to make their pit stops. So let's have a look at the onboard for Moo, and let's actually go on board. Yeah, to watch him. Ooh, that's a big cut. Oh, either my stream is laggy, or Moo has a really weird line through the last corners. So yeah, braking into turn 1, very bumpy. Stay on the inside as long as you can. Second gear for the Ginetta, up to the 5th gear, and actually braking hard just at the beginning of the curb on the right side, the small curb stripe. Not ran wide in turn 4, that's what I said before, but what I said plenty of times. The kink is full throttle, not even lifting. At the end of the gravel on the left side, you have to brake for the next hairpin, where even Moo goes down to the 1st gear in the Ginetta, or the Ginetta is able to go down in the 1st gear. So next corner again, braking just behind the. Oh no, that was a really late braking maneuver. Okay, I wanted to say braking at the right side when the curb begins, but yeah, you brake just after. That's full throttle for the Ginetta through there, through the left kink. And another right hairpin, and the 3rd on this track, where he again opts for the 1st gear, tries to have a good jump out of the corner, and up to the last corner, which is very tricky, where Moo had his mistake last lap and still manages to do a 32.7. So now it's Wheezy with a 33.3 this lap, and Moo with a 32.7. So another 6/10 off from the lead from Wheezy. And we have to keep in mind Wheezy is due to pit. So he has to pit at some point of the race. So speaking of pitting, there is one of the drivers, 3, 4, 5, it's Coppernuts. Yeah, it's Coppernuts pitting. But as there are the mechanics standing with tires, this pit stop was way too short to change the tires. When you have a tire changing pit stop, it's actually at least 10 seconds, not counting any refueling or repairing. So this was only the mandatory pit stop, probably about a splash of fuel, but basically no tires. So, and Coppernuts came right behind Chaos Theory from the pit. So I'm not sure if I missed the pit stop from Chaos Theory, because his position is really weird, as he was in the fight with Coppernuts before and made a small mistake. Probably he went to the pits and I missed it. So if you saw it, guys, just let me know if you saw Chaos Theory pitting, because I'm pretty sure he did. He's a very consistent 34 mid 34 lap time, as basically everybody else is, besides Detox and Moo. No, not Detox, besides Wheezy and Moo. So yeah, looks like the gap is a little bit increasing at the front, and our 2 championship rivals, Wheezy and Moo, are battling it out at the front. And yeah, Wheezy is doing everything he can. Let's actually, when we talk about Wheezy, let's switch him bring him into the picture. Um, yeah, Wheezy is trying to do everything he can to stay in the championship race, because when Moo's taking his 5th win tonight, that's probably a really big gap already. Point system, I'm not sure if you are aware. Point system is you get 35 points for the win, I guess, I think, and 30 for 2nd place. So it's only 5 points, yes, but nevertheless 5 points. It's another 5 points, and when you win 5 out of 5 races, it's actually very dominant. And Wheezy is trying, as I said, with a 32.8 now last lap. He's trying everything he can to stay in the championship race and actually beat Moo. Really big gap, Hood? Yeah, sorry again for my bad English sometimes. When I'm getting excited, I'm really talking shit sometimes in English. So, yeah, I am from Germany, so my English is basically learned in school and educated at work. So there are some flaws and lacks in my terms and yeah, sentences, but I'm sure you can watch over. You probably want me to talk bad English than talking good German. So it's probably easier for you to understand the bad English than the good German. So let's have a look again at Wheezy. Wheezy's from Italy. He's one of the foreign drivers, as the league is basically based in the UK, as AOR, Apex Online Racing, the forum we are racing for and we are streaming for, is an UK-based forum. So there are many drivers from the UK, from Great Britain, from Ireland, from Scotland. I think LGS is from Scotland. Detox is from. Oh, is he from Scotland again? I don't want to mess this up. So. Yeah, better stop talking and talking about something else, as I think it was Chaos Theory, as we saw the damage. No, it wasn't Chaos, it was Detox actually, getting lapped by Wheezy. Let's compare the last lap times. Wheezy actually had a better lap than Moo and increased the gap to over 14 seconds again. And yeah, as I said, Wheezy is trying everything he can. Let's have a lap on board with him and see how good he's actually driving. So I will stay in this chase cam to give you guys a good idea of the movement of the car and to see how much Wheezy is fighting with this mighty SLS, because this is probably not the best track for the SLS, as the SLS is not very good on the brakes, I think. But the SLS is good on traction and on top speed as well, as we saw last week in Le Mans. And yeah, Wheezy's being, you're right. Wheezy's being very consistent this season. Has 2 second places and 2 third places, so 4 races, 4 podiums, which is really, really good. And he's up for another podium at least this weekend. Let's see if he's able to challenge Moo for the win, and as he's taking turn 4 very nicely, not running wide again. We'll quickly have a look at the penalties again, as there's nothing new to see for us. It's still Wheezy with 1 second. Mr. Ruffem up already in P4. So this is really good. So let's give him some love as we keep an eye on the lap times from Wheezy and Moo at the front to see how the gap is developing. So it's LGS still in P3 with very, very good consistency this race. And if he brings home P3, I'm sure he will be weaving and flashing over the finish line as well, as we saw Copper Nuts last week in P4. Mr. Ruffem up in P4, which is a really good starting, or which is a really good position for him as well. I think he came from P8 on the grid. I didn't saw him make any major mistakes so far, as long as I can remember. Only profiting from others' mistakes, and which is fair enough, the right choice if you're not on the pace of the real front runners, on the pace of the real aliens, like Wheezy and Moo. When you're at least a second slower per lap, then you have to be consistent to keep yourself in the mix, and that is what Mr. Ruffem is doing tonight, and he's doing it very well. Next one is King Chip again, teammate from Mr. Ruffem who was P5 on the grid and had some really difficult lap, opening lap, with the contact with Detox, not Detox, with Gnarly and Chaos, where from my perspective nobody really is on fault or was on fault, because there was just going 3 wide through the after turn 4, coming up to turn 5, and everybody was looking for some space on track, and there just wasn't any. So this was a really unfortunate event for Gnarly and especially Chaos, for Gnarly and especially Chaos. Sorry for that one. As Chaos lost out big time. This case, Gnarly went on, but crashed again with Detox a few corners later. So that's Gnarly and Detox with the very early pit stop. I think the first one, lap 1 pit stop, actually for repairs. Sitting now in P8 and P9. Then it's Chaos Theory, about 12 to 13 seconds. Yeah, 12 to 13 seconds behind King Chip, which is not that bad. What is the lap time? Yeah, looks like Chaos Theory is pretty much 1 second faster than the guys in front of him. So I think I will do something I haven't done last week. I saw it from another YouTuber and found it very cool. So let's try it out and follow Chaos Theory for yeah, but I will come back to this sentence in a second. I will try to give you a silent lap with me silent and the game sound up a little bit to enjoy the sound of the Cadillac. So let's see if this is working. So I'm off for a lap. I'll leave you alone with the Chaos Theory Cadillac infamous V8 engine sound. this was one lap for you at the infamous Zhuhai International Circuit in China. Watching and probably most likely hearing the Cadillac ATS GT3. So I hope it worked, and I hope it was fun for you to listen to the sound. So yeah, what did Hood say about the first lap incident with Gnarly? I think the person who didn't brake and pushed Gnarly off track would be at fault, wouldn't they? I only saw the first incident with Kingchip, Chaos and Gnarly. The second one was not with Kingchip in the pits, and it was both of the Lamborghinis in the pits. Actually, as LGS was in the pits as well, one lap before, as you may have noticed. So it's basically only Wheezy left, and Coconuts was in, yeah, Gnarly Detox were in, and Chaos, I don't know if Chaos was in, so it's Chaos coming, oh no, Mr. Ruffam coming out of the pits just behind Chaos Theory, so Chaos Theory back up in P4 actually by the time. And so back to the first lap incident, I only saw Kingchip, Chaos and Gnarly, the first incident, where, as I said, they were 3 wide at the opening or after turn 4, and there was just not enough space for everybody. Everybody was looking for space, and yeah, they gently hit each other and pushed themselves off. But and the second incident was, I think, between Detox and Gnarly at this corner, this fast left-hander, which was really difficult for me to see. I probably didn't saw it because I was commentating on the damage from Chaos Theory, or yeah, complaining about his being the second bad first lap in a row. Yeah, so this was a little bit. Yeah, there was a black Lambo. Yeah, you're right. It was the incident with Kingchip, but I think Gnarly was on the right side, Kingchip in the middle, and Chaos Theory on the left side coming out of turn 4, and they, yeah, Kingchip wanted to go to the right and hit Gnarly and scared him off and turned to the left, and there was chaos, and yeah, it was really chaotic. I have to watch it actually back on the stream and myself to keep track what really happened, but I think it was a racing incident. There was nothing wrong in the opening lap with this one. The other one, I'm not so sure, to be honest. So let's see if Mr. Rough 'em Up can keep up with Chaos, as actually we do have a lead change, which I sadly badly missed. What was it, a mistake from Wheezy, or was Wheezy in the pits? Lap time of 39.2 tells me he was in the pits, but I'm not so sure. So yeah, let's have a look at the standings all around to get ourselves back on track. So then it's actually, yeah, 39.2. He was about 10 seconds in front from Moo. And the last lap time was at 39.2, so he must have had 2 bad laps then, or 2 mistakes then, or he was in the pits. So I guess he was in the pits. Yeah, that's what I think as well. He was 11 seconds clear, and now he's 8 seconds behind. I think Wheezy must have been to the pits. So we do have Moo in first place with his best lap of 32.3. Following him is Wheezy with 8 seconds behind with his best lap with 32.8, which is not that bad, to be honest. LGS, after all the pit stops, as it looks like, as I'm not aware of anybody who has the pit, LGS was in the pits for sure. Chaos is the one, I'm not so sure if he was in the pits. Mr. Ruffin-Up and Kingchip, both of the Lamborghinis were in the pits. Coppernuts, the Ferrari was in the pits as well, I'm very sure. And Gnarly and Detox pitted in the opening lap. Oh, Wheezy with a mistake, and he lost it. Put off the timing, Seppel. He lost it out of turn 1. Oh, and this will increase the gap significantly. From, I think it was 8 seconds behind, and now it's 16, so he doubled the gap in one corner with one bad mistake. But yeah, as I said, that's the first corner, or it's turn 2, which is very early. There you have it. It's the best lap delta plus 10 seconds, basically. So he lost about 10 seconds with one mistake, and yeah, if anything crazy happens throughout the race for Mu, that's probably the win for him secured. So yeah, good fight from Ruizy, but again, it looks like he's losing out on Mu. Nevertheless, this will be good points for him, as his rival for P3 is not here tonight. I am an Eagle, he's taking a break. So yeah, Wheezy will make good points this week and climb up the ladder, or secure his position in the championship standings. So it's LGS, as I said, after all the pit stops in P3, it's 8 seconds behind, only 8 seconds behind is Mr. Ruffin-Up. Chaos Theory behind Mr. Ruffin-Up, question mark, again. Looks like there was a small mistake from Chaos Theory again, and as he was in P4 before. So I have to keep better track on the positioning on the top left side, so sorry for that. I missed another remarkable moment in the race. Probably was not this lap, but last lap was the 39.5, so it looks like there was a mistake. Yeah, pretty sure there was a mistake, as he was doing 34s the lap before. So it's Kingchip actually as well, not that far behind Chaos Theory. Coppernuts following Kingchip as well, staying consistent again. Gnarly with pretty good and consistent lap times. A little bit off the radar, to be honest, as he pitted very early. But yeah, nevertheless, he's doing a good job trying to recover. There's some more damage, which I didn't saw before, but probably is from the first lap damage. So let's quickly, before we miss anything again, it's Mr. Ruffin-Up and Chaos Theory again. Chaos Theory, oh, it's too late again. God damn it, Seppel. Hi, Patos. Too late again. Chaos Theory overtook Mr. Ruffin-Up in probably the first corner or the second corner of the last lap, and yeah, got back into P4. So good job from him recovering from his, to be honest, a lot of small mistakes, which is very unusual for Chaos Theory. But yeah, I think he's still adapting to the car, and he's still adapting to the Project Cars 2 physics. Yeah, but we will have a look at this battle again, as Mr. Ruffin-Up is taking a very tight line through turn 12, I think. Yeah, 11 and 12 it is. So I will put up the track map for myself so that I can tell you the corner numbers if I don't know them from my mind. So yeah, it's, as these corners don't have names, which I'm very glad of, to be honest, because if these corners would have Chinese names, I would probably struggle very much to pronounce them. So the corners only have numbers here in China, in Zhuhai, so it's probably not even that important to have the corner numbers in the right order, or in the right number for the right corner. So that's a little bit different. We will have it from, there will be a little bit of a oh no, we will actually stay in Asia next week, as I completely missed it. We will stay in Asia. we will switch over to Japan for next week and go to Sportsland Zugo. I doubt it will rain there, but I don't know yet. But stay tuned for this one. Next week, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. will be same time. It's actually 8 p.m. in UK. Sorry for that. I'm always thinking in German time, so it's 1 hour later. It's 9 p.m. in German time. So yeah, for you guys, 8 p.m. UK. Again for Sportsland Zugo. Following Zugo is the race in Indianapolis. It's the road course in Indianapolis. In the very early morning at 7 o'clock will the race start in game time. Then we return back to Fuji again. And race a race at dinner, actually at 12. But I guess, yeah, Indianapolis Road and Fuji will not be streamed as I'm on vacation then. But I will be back for round 9 on in Bathurst, which will be the second and last endurance race for the season, where we start at very early morning at 5 a.m. In Bathurst, and the last round, the closing round of the championship of season 13 will be in the Czech Republic in Brünn. I think it's called Brünn in Germany and it's called Brno in English. It's sometimes a little bit different, difficult for me as Mr. Ruffemup is running very wide, but still managing to put up a personal best second sector. So yeah, lots of racing to come for you guys. We still have 5 rounds to go. 3 of them, as I said, will be streamed. We will have the stream next week in Zugo. We will have the stream then for round 9 in Bathurst for the endurance race, 1.5 hours with reverse championship grid. So tune in for this one again, and we will have the last round in Brünn with probably a championship decider. Hopefully a championship decider. I'm not so sure. Probably Moo. I don't hope so, because I'm up for you guys to commentate on a exciting championship. I don't hope that Moo will have it secured, but if the championship goes on like it is the first 5 rounds or first 4 rounds, including the one today with the first 5 rounds, it will probably already be decided. As with these 5 extra points, let me have a quick math. He will have 35 points of a gap already, to not counting in the I think the pole position is an extra point. Yeah, pole position is an extra point, I'm pretty sure. So he at least has around 4 pole positions, as we didn't have a qualifying in Le Mans. But he probably has 4 pole positions in the opening rounds. Imola was... yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Moo in Imola. I'm pretty sure it was Moo in Donington. I'm pretty sure it was him in Catalunya as well. Yeah, probably. And yeah, it doesn't matter. And today he was on pole position for sure. But yeah, let's have a look at Chaos Theory and Mr. Ruffemup. Both already long-time drivers. Hey Walter, both long-time drivers on AOR. Mr. Ruffemup recently promoted to Tier 1 from the Tier 2 league. I'm not sure if he was in Tier 2 last week, but he, for sure he was in Tier 2 one of the 2 last seasons. He was in Tier 2, and yeah, he signed up for season 13 again. Speaking of signing up, if you want to take part, if you want to sign up for AOR GT3 racing, you can still do it. The signups for Xbox One are still open, or open again, better to say. So as we do have a phenomenon throughout all the seasons that sometimes drivers yeah, sign out of a running season when they see it's pretty hard to compete with these guys. So if you are a fast guy, if you want to drive on a well-organized league with a live stream on YouTube, even with a better commentary, then feel free to sign up on apexonlineracing.com. Go to the GT3, to the Project Cars 2 section in the forum, and there you find the GT3 leagues with PS4, PC, and Xbox One, which are all running simultaneously. And sign up. Yeah, sign up and challenge these guys. As you can see, we probably do have Eagle back next week, which will make 10 drivers, and we will probably have a good a new driver next week to introduce. Basically an old new driver, which is Callum, who will probably return for next week's race in Sugo. But let's see. So, and as I'm talking about signing up through the AOR leagues, we are watching LGS Chaos Theory closing up, still with Mr. Rougham up in his tow. So yeah, it looks like the battle for P3 is not over. We have about 8 laps to go. These guys are not lapped yet. I think it's only Detox who's been lapped. Let's have a quick look. There's Moon. No, he must have lapped 3 guys probably. Yes, Detox, Coppernuts, and Gnarly behind, which is a very close battle, to be honest, as well, with King Chip in P6, Coppernuts following close behind in P7, and Gnarly in P8. So, now it's getting really interesting who to follow. So let's have a look actually at P3, as it's for the podium, and we want to see who's ending up on the podium at first glance. So it's only Wheezy who has a very lonely race at the moment, following about nearly 30 seconds behind Moo, coming up to the start-finish line and starting lap 33 of 39, as you can see on top of the screen. The next one with a very lonely race is Detox by now. Yes, he's already 2 laps down, I think. Yeah, looks like he's 2 laps down. I'm not so sure. No, it's probably only 1, as he's crossing the line now. Yeah, he's 1 lap down. And then we do have 2 exciting battles for the podium places, with LGS in P3, Chaos following him, chasing him down, trying to make up for the first lap incident, and Mr. Rougham up in P5, who's not that far off as well. So oh no, Chaos lost it! Chaos made a mistake in the last corner. Did he actually hit the wall? I wasn't able, as the camera switched to the wrong perspective, and that's a 42.5. That's another about 8 seconds loss for Chaos this lap. So this last corner is so, you have to be early on the throttle to take up the speed through the start-finish line. But you don't you can't be too early on the throttle, because then you lose it, as Chaos just did, just for you to see. So it's a shame for him. He's making a lot of mistakes in this Cadillac. I think he was in the Ferrari for the first 2 rounds, and the Ferrari was not the right car for him to drive, because he likes to drive boats, as he drove the AMG as a teammate of mine before, and he drove I think he drove the Bentley as well, and what is an IAA, the M6, the M6 GT3 he drove in season 9, which was the first PC2 season, I think. And it's a shame. It's a shame he lost it again, and still has. Actually, Gnarly overtook Coppernuts for P7. Let me just finish this. It's a shame that Chaos really struggles with the consistency in the Cadillac, and I hope he can sort it out and find a setup or a track and a condition where he really can show his strengths, because he got third in the championship last season, just beat me by I think about 5 or 6 points last season as I was racing in this league. Um, yeah, but I really hope he can put off his struggles and show us some really good results and show us why he is one of the best GT3 or PC2 drivers, um, Project Cars 2 drivers on this game, on this platform, on the Xbox One. Yeah, let's see in the upcoming races. So it's Gnarly and Coppernuts battling for P7. Kingship managed to pull out a little bit of a gap actually to to both of these drivers. But looking at the minimap on the right side, there is LGS and Mr. Ruffemup not that far off each other, and even Chaos is only 3 seconds behind. So we do have, let's compare the lap times. Yeah, it's a 35.7 for LGS last lap, and Mr. Ruffemup 1 second slower, faster, sorry. 1 second faster, and Chaos Theory as well. Half a second at least faster than LGS, and yeah, basically then half a second slower than Mr. Ruffemup. So Mr. Ruffemup with the best pace in this group. As well as Gnarly and Kingship all with 34s, and the two aliens up front with 33s, a 33.2 and a 33.5. So yeah, let's see how this battle develops. So let me know in the comment section, as we're coming we're closing down to the end of the race. Let me know if you want me to make a short interview with the first 3 drivers, or do you have anybody you want to see in the interview box after the race? Yeah, just let me know if you want to have the interview, and let me have one question with everybody basically, or 2. So otherwise we're following, yeah, I think we're following again the battle for P3, where LGS is again losing 1 second to Mr. Ruffemup last lap, and yeah, let's see if this is getting close again. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, Hood. That's a good idea. Should get the opinions on the incident. So it's probably Gnarly, who should be invited to a small party chat. So I cannot promise anything if I can set it up right, because I haven't done it before. But I guess I can just open up the Xbox app on PC, start up a party, and invite all these guys. So yeah, I will sort it out. No worries. So nevertheless, we will have a closer look now. What is going? There's somebody in the pits. Oh no, somebody retired. It's actually Detox retiring from the race, as he's standing in the pit lane. A small blue dot on the right side, and no way to watch him. I think he only did the 90% of the race distance and then retired to get the full points. So that was probably his plan, which is actually, to be honest, not a bad plan. But good thing tonight is we still have basically all the drivers running, as I think, as I said, Detox just retired to the pits, as he has no real chance to go back to catch Coppernuts in front of him, as he was too far behind. And with the damage on the opening lap, it probably, yeah, forced himself through the race. And yeah, heads up to him for not giving up earlier, for um, driving around and showing us what he's able to do, as he was doing pretty much the same consistent lap times as everybody else. Where as we saw LGS having a little wiggle into turn 1. So yeah, it's actually getting closer. It's still getting closer, as they are on basically the same lap time last week with a 35.0, and Chaos Theory actually with a 33.8 last lap, closing up to them as well. There we see him in the background, just coming round turn 4. Yeah, let's see if this is getting close again. But yeah, let's give the Galvalied AMG a little shot here. But those, yes, signups are on again. You can jump in, mate. Jump in and show them how it's done. Patos is in the chat, a long-time AOR driver from Portugal, and he was third in the championship in season 11, I guess. So very good driver as well. Very well known over the forum on the Xbox side. Drove basically 4 seasons on Assetto Corsa with us, and at least one season I can remember in Project Cars 2. So yeah, feel free to sign up, mate, and let me commentate on you again next week. So as we saw again, LGS coming very sideways into the first corner and very wide at the exit of the last corner. Looks like he's really pushing it to the limits. It's a 35.2 for LGS, as Mr. Rafamap is really closing up now, and this is getting very intense. This is now getting very intense. So it's LGS in P3, which will be his best race position by far this season. Sorry. And Mr. Rafamap in P4, which is his best result as well, I think. We do have this lap and then one more lap to go for them to fight out the podium position. Mr. Rafamap is, yeah, obviously a little bit closer, faster. He's about 1 second lap faster, but goes wide there again. And yeah, let's actually check the timings with the penalty. So it's LGS with 1 second and Mr. Rafamap with 2 seconds. So this actually brings my mate Chaos Theory back in play, as he is only about 1 or 2 seconds. It's really difficult with the splits up there. So let's have a look. Why don't you do anything there? Yeah, it's Chaos. Looks like when we're looking at the oh no, I missed. Sorry, Moo. Sorry, Moo, I missed you crossing the line. So, Moo with another win on round 5 with 5 wins in 5 races. So, congratulations to Moo. Wheezy will finish second, but we will have a closer look at the battle for the podium now. So, it's let's go on board with the chase cam. Let's go on board with the Lamborghini. So let's see if Mr. Rafamap is able to make a move there. Don't forget Chaos Theory behind. It's probably a good idea to go to him and see them, both guys in front. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners to go for those 3 guys, and I think if it stands like this, it's gonna be Chaos Theory probably taking at least Mr. Rafamap, as Mr. Rafamap has a 2-second time penalty. LGS with a 1 second time penalty, which can be very close. So let's have a look. It doesn't look like anybody is close enough to make a move on the guy in front. So there will be a lot of time to make up in the last corner. Last corner will be dependent for the podium or not. So it looks like LGS stays in front of Mr. Rafamap, even with the penalties. And there is Chaos. And where are the results? There they are. So it's LGS actually staying in P3 with Chaos Theory managing to get in front of Mr. Ruffemup in P4. Mr. Ruffemup with probably still his best season result in P5. His teammate Mr. Kingchip in P6. Coppernuts, Mr. Consistency from Le Mans last week in P7. Gnarly, very unfortunate P8 as of the first lap. And Detox retiring after 33 laps in P9. But the win tonight for you guys takes THR Moo and followed by the Wheezy. So let's have a look, guys, if I'm able to introduce these guys to a chat. So it's the Xbox app, which you open on Windows 10 with the Windows button and G if you don't know it. So let's have a look. There is the Xbox Social Beta. There is Xbox Chat. Oh yeah, this is the chat. So it's gonna be Gnarly. Gnarly. It's a Gnarly. A Gnarly. Yeah, there he is. Sprachchat starten. So let's see if Gnarly's joining. Then we do have THR Moo. Who will be invited to the actual chat here. And I think we will have LGS in the chat as well with his first podium. LGS 469. So it looks like Gnarly's here already. Gnarly, can you hear me? Hello? Let's have a look. So there is LGS joining, I guess. Yes, LGS is here. LGS, can you hear us?
I can, man.
Hi, LGS. Congratulations to your first podium. We will start off with you then for the interview. Congratulations on the first podium in Tier 1, I guess. Am I right?
Cheers. Yeah, it is.
So you did a pretty good job tonight, being very consistent. So what do you think was the main thing tonight for you?
Pretty much avoiding that madness in the first lap. Showed me a lot, and then as you said, just being very consistent, and then just trying to look after the brakes, which were pretty shot in the last 10 laps. That's why Rough 'em Up and Chaos had the opportunity to close right up on me.
Yeah.
Enough, I couldn't push anymore.
Yeah, we saw you struggling on the brakes, pretty much locking up the brakes in basically every corner, but nevertheless, very good job. Congratulations to your first podium. And yeah, keep up the good work. So as we do have our race winner as well here, Moo is back on track.
How's it going?
Hello, congratulations, 5 races, 5 wins, perfect season so far. How do you think you can keep up?
To be honest, I really wasn't sure how that one was going to go. Like, the car was super twitchy in practice. I didn't even finish a race stint. I just kept making changes. So the race day came, it was just a matter of driving it.
Okay, as I said, you did a cracking job. Again, leaving no space for Wheezy again, as he was very very close at the opening laps, and I think you pitted very early at around 8 or 9. For what reason, Moo?
Yeah. That's how I closed up. I had the radiator to try to generate speed. That was when I hit the 2 engine damage. It was that early.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And I wasn't sure if I had the speed to actually beat Wheezy at that point. So, like, ideally you want to stay out and, you know, clog them up, get the tyres hot. But I just wasn't sure, so I just went with my own strategy.
Yeah, obviously it worked out for you. So as Wheezy made some mistakes at the later stages of the race and wasn't able to match your speed once again, to be honest. So good job.
He keeps me honest, that's for sure.
Yeah, he will
Thank
try.
you.
He will try to beat you in the next race as well. So yeah, good job as well. And third up, as we don't have Wheezy in the chat tonight, it's Nali in the chat. So welcome, Nali. Can you hear
Hi,
us?
Seppo.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
So,
can you hear?
yeah, I can hear you perfectly loud and clear. So just explain what happened in the opening lap, as you were involved in, I think, 2 incidents.
Yeah, the first one was into turn 3, if I'm not mistaken. We got dive bombed by a black Lambo on the inside. First, when you see that coming in the mirrors, it comes very fast. So I got a tap at that moment, and immediately game gave me like 20 seconds or back, which I did. And going a couple of corners later, it was, I believe, Detox that was on the left side, and again I saw him really braking late, getting late on the brakes. So yeah, and avoid contact, I went a bit wide, and when I stepped on the gas, lost it. So that's where I got collected, I guess, by 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
Heavy hit.
Yeah, we saw it. I had it on stream. It was very unfortunate. We saw the Lamborghini. I think it was King Chip going for the move in turn 4 on the opening lap, and then was Chaos Theory at your side, and you were 3 wide coming up to turn 5, and there was just not enough space for everybody. So you were bouncing off each other, and yeah, unfortunately,
Kind of like
KSW missed
pinball.
out on that. Yeah, they pinballed off each other. And the other incident, I honestly wasn't so sure, but I saw Detox was in it, and I think Detox was the only one with soft tires on this race. I don't know if he said anything in the chat, but I think he had soft tires, as he wasn't weaving at all in the formation lap and was very fast at the opening laps. So yeah, probably a bit too ambitious, but
Yeah, well, so I tried to get back into it afterwards, pitting straight away, and then just clocking the laps, but you get frustrated. So I made a mistake again, got a bit of damage on the front, like a level 6, which slowed down the lap time by 1.1 seconds per lap, approx. So yeah, well, you clock seconds over the race that you can't gain again. So I'm happy to finish. I'm just gonna go for a run because I need to get the frustration out now.
all right. Yeah, nevertheless, well done to finish the race, Nali. Well done to Moo.
You're welcome.
5th win tonight in the 5th race, and 3rd one in the interview box tonight is LGS securing his first podium on Tier 1 Xbox One GT3, and I don't want to tell all the other numbers coming after that. So, guys, nevertheless, see you back next week at Sportsland Sugo. Same time, same place. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and yeah, see you later.